Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Square Eyes Syndrome for a very special episode celebrating men behaving badly. I'm Ben Gilman. As always, I'm joined by Troy Salmon.
What's up?
Tom Hill.
Hey.
And Dan Rudge.
Good evening.
Hi. I'm finding out the cupboard. Troy, I have to say, the set of the cupboard, you put charm posters up in there, and there's charms on the TV 24/7. I've had to empty out the cupboard for this.
I know Ben was loving it in there. I knew he was loving them charm
There's
posters.
too many Ashley Massaro posters up there just staring at me.
Oh my gosh.
I got comma from, man.
Sorry.
I've had to take it out for people's safety, bro.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right, I'll put it back up later. Don't worry about it.
I'm back, so now Tom has to go in. Tom will mysteriously going to disappear for the next 2 weeks so that I can get my crown back as longest serving member.
It ain't happening, motherfucker.
Watch yourself on the fucking stairs, brother. That's all I'm telling you. Just be careful on the fucking stairs. All right, how are you guys doing anyway?
Oh man, I'm doing good.
I'm
I'm doing good.
scared
I'm
of
ready.
walking downstairs now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Jeez.
Well, I'm happy to tell you that last week's podcast has got the lowest rating since. So I'm back to save the pod. No, it's not. It's done quite well. I was going to make a joke about me saving the podcast, but you guys did really good. I listened to it. It was fun.
Yeah, we had a conversation afterwards. We considered just dropping you.
Yeah, that's what we did. Literally, we did. I was like,
Dan, that was a private conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna come for Dan as well. Fine. Okay. So today we finally got around to men behaving badly, which we've been trying for 2 months. I blame Troy. No, basically we do apologise. We've completely come off of our schedule. We were meant to do this every 3 weeks, do a special, and we haven't. We've missed 2 months. So today we're going to finally get around to it. So Men Behaving Badly is a British television sitcom that was created and written by Simon Ney. It follows the lives of Gary Strang, who's played by Martin Clunes, and his flatmates, Dermot, who's Harry Anfield, once who is one only, thankfully, and Tony, who's played by Neil Morrissey from season 2 onwards. It was first broadcast on ITV in 1992. A total of 6 series were made, along with a Christmas special and a trilogy of episodes that made up the feature-length Last Orders. It was filmed in Ealing in West London. The setting is, however, is implied to be in South London, and there's a lot of references made to Somerset. It was produced by Hartwood Films in association with Thames for the first 2 seasons on ITV. They were also assisted with production of the third series onwards. That was aired on the BBC after Thames had lost their regional ITV license to London weekdays at the end of 1992 to Carlton Television. It is a Comedy Awards Best ITV Comedy, and it's also won National Television Award for Situation Comedy, and it's loved. It is not a comedy that you can find on TV as much anymore, but if you do the theme tune, a lot of people of a certain age will start doing it with you.
Addictive as heck.
It's an earworm.
Definitely.
And it's an earworm that you can't play on your guitar. But we tried. Off camera, we were trying to persuade Dan to do a little ditty on his guitar.
But I hadn't practiced it before 5 minutes before we started, so I refused.
It was going to make such a good outtake. So Gary and Tony, because forget about Dermot, who's Harry Anfield from season 1, because he's kind of he basically is replaced by Tony, as in they both want to get into Deborah's pants, basically.
They're identical characters. They're wasters who never pay any rent and both want to get into Deb's pants. Yeah.
To be fair,
let's
just quickly get to Harry Anfield. Harry Anfield is gone on to much better stuff. Obviously, Harry Anfield and Chums. He was in numerous stuff. Most famously, recently, The Windsors, which is he's hysterical. He's a great.
Harry Enfield is brilliant in sketch show comedy.
Yes, he's a master.
He's just not a comedy actor.
No, he's not.
And
No.
it's no criticism of the guy. He had to go, and in fairness, the reason that Men Behaving Badly got made was because they had Harry Enfield on board, because he was the only name, really,
Yeah,
at the
he
time.
was.
It was him being with it that Men Behaving Badly got made. So in that respect, full respect to the guy, because the show exists because of Harry Enfield.
Yeah, it's big name pioneer.
Yeah. But it didn't work. And Neil Morrissey, much as I don't like the man himself, made a brilliant replacement and did a better job because he was a better actor.
Okay, there's sounding like there's some personal heat.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I got into a physical altercation with Neil Morrissey at a Charlton game about 20 years ago.
Did you tell him that Harry Enfield was better?
No, he was pissed. He's a Crystal Palace fan, and he was standing in front of me shouting and swearing when there was a young boy sitting next to me, and I asked him 5 or 6 times to please, can you stop? We've got young people here, and he told me to fuck off. At which point I tried to grab him, and people pulled me, and he tried to grab me, and then it got moved away, and he moved seats to go away from the nasty man who told him he wasn't allowed to be pissed and abusive at a football match. But you know, I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy. He was clearly twatted. So
he's also a famous adulterer, and he's got an alcohol problem, a drug problem from the
yeah,
bar.
well,
So.
he doesn't anymore. Let's be fair. He's cleaned his act up.
He's cleaned up.
He did, but
when the one time I met him, he was rude and abusive and pissed. And so
he's an
that is my experience
an
of the man.
alcoholic, ex-druggie, and a heckler of Tom. And I think we can all agree Tom deserves to be heckled as much as possible. So
Fuck you.
I'm joking. I just watched Bill and Ted, and when I was younger, obviously, Men Behaving Badly was on the same time as Bill and Ted, so Keanu Reeves and Neil Morrissey always have the same haircut. And it's just quite remarkable just how similar they look in terms of he looks like an older Bill, but that's forget about that. So Martin Clunes plays Gary Strang. He looks like the younger son of the BFG with his big satellite ears, his dobby face. Manager of a security sales office with old-fashioned middle-aged subordinates. I can't remember their names, but they are hilarious. Oh,
what the two who work for him?
Yes.
Oh God, 1 second. George and
Thea. They're bloody brilliant. They always get a scene in with those two every episode, and it's always hysterical.
I think my favourite one is when he sent them off to that management course to be stronger, and they came back and he was really upset about something, and that's not got anything to do with our job. And he's like, it does not help with the efficient running of the office. Just walk off.
I will have to be honest, because now he plays Doc Martin, which is most probably now his most famous role, next to Men Behaving Badly. My mum said he looks a lot more handsome now. He's aged better than he was when he was young.
He has. I've got to admit, he has. Because my mum loves Doc Martin.
He's got one of those faces, yeah.
I'm not mocking him. He's a lovely, friendly-looking human being. I've met him before. He's a very friendly guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not mocking his. He's
grown into it.
Yeah, he just looks better older. I don't know. Anyway,
some people do.
No, he has an older face when he was younger. That's why it looks better when he's older.
His girlfriend,
he's grown into his face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Brilliant. He has a long-term relationship with Dorothy, who is the fantastic Caroline Quentin.
Oh, she is an absolute star.
Yes.
From
1992, her characters have got balls, way ahead of her time. Dorothy just gives it as good as she gives it back to Gary. Her and Deborah, also played by Leslie Ash, they just give us good. They run rings around Gary and Tony. I love them both. They are fantastic. Obviously, Caroline Quentin we'll talk about again in Christmas time for Jonathan Creek.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got so many. She's a nurse who lives with her parents and sometimes with Gary and Tony. She makes friends with Dorothy.
No, with Deborah.
Yeah, sorry. What I'm
Dorothy.
Up to, but I've got notes. Yeah, she makes friends with Deborah very early on. Yeah. Deborah is an attractive blonde woman who lives in a flat above Gary and Tony and is constantly getting sexually harassed by Gary, Tony, and Harry Enfield's character.
And pretty much every other male character that comes.
Yeah. Everyone's after it.
Yes, she does fancy Tony, or for his immaturity, devil may cray attitude, and other aspects of his character always push her away. It's not until the last season that they get together. You know. There's Les, the landlord of the local
It depends
pub.
what you define as the last season. Are you saying Last Orders because they're already together by that point?
Yeah, but I'm saying season 6.
Okay, right. No, I get what you mean. Okay.
There's also Les and Ken, who are the landlords of the pub at different times. Ken is the successor of Les. They are the landlords of the favourite pub. He just looks like every homeless-looking person you would avoid in the street.
Oh, damn.
There's this. Brilliant. Dave Atkins plays Les, and John Thompson plays
Thompson
Ken.
played Ken, yeah.
The Crown.
Here's a question for you. I like John Thompson. He's a good actor, but I think they pitched him slightly wrong in this show. What do you think? There was some times where he just said things that were just so bloody stupid.
Came out of
They
nowhere.
were beyond believable. Like not being able to remember the phrase "you're barred" for a pub flipping landlord. Although vaguely amusing, you wouldn't go with the word "you're outlawed." You'd find something. It felt.
It's the old school
occasionally
thing that
felt-
you're outlawed. It's like something in the medieval times or something. What the hell is he talking
But
about?
it just felt like occasionally they felt like the bar staff needed to be funnier,
Yeah, I think it
so they
was.
did things that were just yeah. In the last series, he's a lot better. So I think they realised they pitched it slightly too ridiculous. But
I always feel like he's, you know, an IT crowd. They replaced the supervisor of the IT company with Matt Berry from season 2.
Yeah.
It's a big improvement there. I'm sorry, Matt Berry just is.
Of course.
He's the other guy's really funny, but my God, Matt Berry's just, you know,
He's a legend, though.
it's
Yeah,
like
guy's
the
a straight
reverse
legend.
of that.
Yeah.
This guy can't follow Les. He just can't.
Les was just such a brilliantly pitched character of the most revolting creature you could possibly imagine.
Okay, this is gonna sound bad. This is gonna sound bad. But you know those everyone's seen like an Australian horror movie or thriller movie. You see the person behind the bar is all dirty looking,
Yeah, it's
dirty
Les.
glasses. That's Les. If you don't get what we're talking about, if you don't, the visuals here.
I always
What's they're called? Weatherstone's staff. Weatherstone's staff.
that's a bit.
damn.
I always wondered whether you know the Little Britain character.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah.
Whether he was ever slightly influenced by Les from
He must have. He must have. There's no way he hasn't. Just like him, the drooping mouth and everything, the
Yeah.
chubby face. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So Men Behaving Badly is based on Simon Nay's 1989 book of the same title. Producer Beryl Virtue, oh, she's quite prominent, first considered it for a film before deciding it was better suited for television adaptation. Harry Enfield, actually, since he was cast first, saw Martin Clunes performing a play and recommended him for the other lead.
Oh wow!
So-
Oh,
Thanks,
snap.
yeah.
Okay.
Enfield felt out of place in the sitcom and announced he was leaving after the first series. Thames Television, when they found out they were losing him, their immediate reaction was to try and kill it. And after the first season with Neil Morrissey, they decided that to give it to the BBC because 7 million is not a good number for a comedy. ITV would be lucky to get that now for any of their shows that isn't the X Factor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Britain's Got Talent or Coronation Street or whatever recycled bullshit you got with Philip Schofield. 7 million is a big number even now. So yeah, the BBC stole it and did a great job with it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they're thinking of bringing it back.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Caroline Quentin, all the whole cast have shot it down. Neil Morrissey really wants to do it.
But that's because he's been out of work for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always seen him in Midsummer Murders. Who else did he
Sorry,
name?
the Skins.
Yeah, Midsummer Murders. Last time I saw him.
Wow, truly the dem de creme of the actors.
Midsummer Murders, yo.
You know what? I wouldn't be against it as long as they played it right. And I think if you had a really, really strong script, you could do like a one-off. But it could only be a one-off. It couldn't be more than an hour-long special.
You don't want birds of a feather. You want it to be like
No.
a red-
Oh,
But you
heck
could
no.
get away with a one-off, 1 hour episode that shows that they're all being a bit. I mean, they've now been at the right kind of age where Gary's daughter would probably be dating, which would be quite a good dynamic to work with, possibly.
You could get a series out of it, but
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
You wouldn't want to.
Yeah, it's one of the things you don't want to touch it.
You'd be running over the same old ground. Whereas if you did like a 1 hour special of two guys who are far more mature than they used to be, but still get pissed and
Yeah.
Bill and Ted Face the Music as
Yeah, that's basically what it is, yeah.
They don't have time travel. It's like, oh, I've got kids. It's kind of like that would be the situation. But like
maybe you could have them being properly sensible and his children being completely wild.
Savages. There's like goals. Damn it, it starts at that age.
Not like Birds of a Feather. The reason why Birds of a Feather doesn't work now is because Red Dwarf has the sci-fi element, so it can still keep innovating like a crazy. It doesn't get ever boring. But Birds of a Feather is a warning sign of we shouldn't have brought this back because it's tired. And that's
the thing is, it still does like reasonably good numbers.
It's good. It's funny. It's a good comedy.
What did you say, Dan?
I wasn't about to say anything, actually. I'm just listening to you guys for
okay. Well, that was good. But I was about to say, go on, Dan.
Dan, would you like to throw your hat in the ring?
Well, no, not really. You guys have much more extensive knowledge on men behaving badly than I do.
No, we're just talking really about anything, really.
My knowledge on all of that is quite limited. Like, I don't even really, apart from Caroline Quentin, I don't know very much about anyone else's other career. I was a big fan of her and Jonathan Creek, but that's been mentioned already. Harry Enfield has been absolutely fantastic stand-up, absolutely fantastic sketch show comedian, great writer. But we've moved on from all that. Honestly, this falls into one of those TV shows that was on during a time where I didn't have access to TV at all. I missed out on it. I've seen episodes, bits and pieces. But I really couldn't speak to you very much on anything specific on this one.
Yeah, it's just, the only reason why I got into it is because of like, my mum was like literally watching TV all the time. Literally, those kind of shows, mum loved them. Maybe I'm badly it was on, I'll watch it. That was my experience, really.
I've just found out there's a Stand Up to Cancer comedy night special which I haven't seen.
From 2014.
I haven't seen that. No.
Is that the one from 2014?
Wow, Neil Morrissey looks like he's just stopped partying. Ooh, he looks like, I think Philip Schofield looks better, and Philip Schofield looks like shit. Anyway, so
that's harsh. That's very harsh.
Savage. My gosh,
Scope's a national treasure. You can't say that.
No, he is. He's a good man. Anyway, so what's your guys' favourite moments like? What do we think of Deborah? I want to go with Deborah first because Deborah's the long suffering the four. She's got a good eye roll.
No, she has the eye though. That those big eyes. You can see the expression right in the eyes, man. Love it.
I don't know. Leslie Ash is a fantastic actress. She knew her role. She played it beautifully, but she always was the foil to other people. And it's more of what she gets other people to do rather than what she does herself that I find funny.
Yeah, she's a reactionary.
Like her getting Neil Morrissey not once but twice to go and sit in the shed for sex in the middle of the night is bloody hilarious. But it's what he's doing. It's his actions that are the funny thing. But if you get what I mean. So she's probably the most kind of sensible of the lot. If that makes Caroline Quentin's character is sensible as well, but Deborah's the one who will immediately tell them to shut up and piss off if she's not in the mood.
Yeah.
Whereas Caroline Quentin character, Dorothy's a bit more understanding and it gives him a bit more leeway. I need to let him hang himself, but she does give him a bit more to do. Whereas Deborah's quite, she says what she thinks straight off.
Quick, yeah.
Which is great about the character.
She's great, and she's a bit more waspish than
yeah. That's exactly the word. Yeah.
They're both brilliant. And I know people go, it's quite sexist, but a lot of people don't remember is they run rings around Gary and Tony.
Exactly. They're literally the strongest characters in the show.
Yeah, they are. Don't get me wrong. The show is incredibly sexist.
It is, but still, yeah.
But that's the whole point. The whole idea is that these guys are sexist and then being absolutely shown up by the women who they think they're better than.
Yeah.
It's basically a feminist show.
It is, technically.
Does they always get the upper hand?
Christian is slightly, I think. But...
Yeah, but look, I'll say a feminist in terms of like the strength compared to like the male characters. Male characters are basically idiots. Yeah, basically idiots.
Female characters are not just there for window dressing. They are attractive, but they are actually there to be characters in their own right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I think to myself, attractive and pushing it. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Okay, so Leslie Ash.
Very attractive.
Yeah, she does.
Caroline Quentin is not ununattractive. She's not like classically beautiful, maybe.
She's cute.
But she's not unattractive.
I mean, can I be honest with you? I think Leslie Ash in the first 3 or 4 seasons is very cute. And then I don't know what happens. Later, she has a haircut and she ages about 30, 40 years in her face.
Damn.
To be honest, I think she became a parent in reality.
She looks like a mum all of a sudden near the end of it.
I think that's because she genuinely is.
No, but I don't know what happened. Everyone else kind of stays the same, but she just looks generally like very, very young in the first couple of seasons. And then she just gets short hair and she just kind of looks like a mum. It's kind of creepy. But Caroline Quentin is my favourite of what rewatching it.
Yeah,
Caroline Quentin's the star of this.
Caroline
Everyone.
I used to bump into Caroline Quentin every single morning when on my way to work.
Yeah.
Back in the late 90s. And for the first week, I kind of walked past her and I went, oh my God, that's Caroline Quentin. And then the second week, I sort of nodded and said hi. And she nodded and said hi. And then we started saying hello to each other, properly. Because she was walking her dogs. So I used to stop and pet the dogs. Hey, how are you? Yeah, not too bad. Bye. It was nothing major, but just every single day. Because she saw me every day. She said hello to me every day.
Where was this? Where was this?
Yeah.
This was Poland Street just off Oxford Street, because that's where she lived. So I used to go for breakfast. I used to work in an office just off Oxford Street. And I used to go for breakfast in Poland Street every morning and then walk up to the office. And I think she must have lived in Poland Street or nearby to there because she came down Poland Street at the same time every single day, just as I was walking up Poland Street. So
it's one of those things that happens whenever you go to certain places in London all the time.
Yeah.
I used to visit a certain open mic in London, and for some reason, around the time I'd be walking towards that pub, which was the King's Head.
Yeah.
You remember, Tom?
In Acton, yeah.
Yeah, you'd see either walking or driving past Jack Whitehall.
Go for him.
Huh?
Did you go for him?
Didn't we walk past Jack Whitehall in Soho once?
Yeah.
I even had a pint with Jack.
Yeah, we nearly walked into Jack Whitehall.
You had a pint with him?
Jack Whitehall has travelled in London. He's a very approachable young man. But some people really hate Jack Whitehall. I don't understand why. He generally makes me laugh. Jack Whitehall.
No, he does.
He's a funny guy. He is funny. I've got to admit that.
He falls into the kind of Michael McIntyre thing of, I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy, but there's lots of people who don't like the comedy he does. And it's just, people have different tastes, you know?
Yeah.
I quite enjoy watching him on things like A League of Their Own, where he's clearly quite quick-witted. And I like that, but I'm not a big fan of his stand-up, if that makes sense.
No, it's better when he has to think on his feet, you know what I mean? That's to react to something.
Exactly.
But yeah, he's smart like that.
Anyway, right. How the hell did we get on to Jack Whitehall?
Yeah. How the heck? Wait, where did we go with that? But yeah, I didn't even get to say what that's my favorite Deborah quote. Wait a sec.
Yeah.
So I wrote it down. So it's a Deborah and Tony skit. It was like a little segment they had. So Deborah goes, "Oh look, Tony, I'm really sorry if I've hurt you." And Tony goes, "How do you mean?" Deborah goes, "Oh, you know me going out with Ray." Tony goes, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then he goes, hardly even noticed, to be honest. And then Deborah's like, so she opened the window, shout, get lost, smug estate agent bastard at him. He goes, no, that wasn't him. That's up station on the other side of the road. Deborah's like, and he says he caught you pushing potato peelings through his car window because he had to do that. Oh, so you want me to stop then? And that was that sketch. I was cracking up. I was like, one of the only people that stuff I actually written down was mad. Oh god, that was funny as heck, man. Deborah and Tony, man, the reactions were epic, bro. That was my favorite one. It came out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell? People, potato peelings. What the freak?
Oh, I remember the scene near the end. Deborah just went pants Tony, bra Tony, and he somehow magicked them away in his in his side of his jacket. And this is near the end of it. I just remember that scene where she's talking to Deborah, and then just like pants Tony, bra Tony, and then the outtakes, because they did a lot of outtakes on the DVDs. At the end of the scene, you can see Neil Morrissey sniff his fingers after he gives her back the pants.
Oh, damn.
Caroline Quentin just hits him on the thing and just gives him a no. It's quite funny.
Oh, God.
But Deborah, I mean, I always thought Deborah was not kind of in the background a lot before I rewatched all this. And you actually realise that she's kind of there a lot more than I thought she was. I mean,
Oh, Deborah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because
it's weird as well. 'Cause I know what you mean, because she's one of them characters like you see her, but it's like, was she really in there that much when you think about it in certain scenes? And she just pops up out of nowhere.
Actually, she was, yeah.
Yeah, but then you're like, yeah, she is.
Because for some reason we do Smugman as well. So I swear she was like the cat. She was in the background a lot, but actually she's there. But it is the main three. So Gary, Tony, and Dorothy are kind of the main. Your Rimmer, your Lister, your Crichton, the main three that always get the most.
Yeah, that's what people remember as Dorothy the most.
Yeah, and Deborah is completely the cat. Like, she's there more than you think she is, which is great.
Yeah.
I really do think Leslie Ash is really funny and just got good timing.
The thing is, with any comedy, you have to have that person who doesn't have as many good lines as the others to let the others have those good lines.
You have to have the eye roller.
She's kind of that pivot to them. She's the straight man to all of their funny stuff. Although she still gets great lines in it, she kind of plays the straight man to the show.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah.
My brother said, she just eye rolls all the time. And,
she does, yes.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing, yeah.
But she's good at the eye.
To be honest, if I lived anywhere near Tony and Gary, I'd probably eye roll quite a bit as well.
What I love also is the retro style cans they have, because they have like the old Stella Artois.
Wow, yeah.
Cans with a bit more detail on them. Not much different though. There's they've literally had the same design for 20 years since. It's ridiculous.
I don't think Stella have ever actually changed their design since they designed it.
Literally just like white and silver.
It is just the same logo. It's amazing. Yeah. They drink. When asked, "Is it real beer?" They said, "Yes, it is real beer." We had to be very careful not to get too pissed, because they said, obviously, we opened up real beer, and Martin Clunes has called it the rock and roll days.
The rock and roll days.
He said, "There's not one day where I'm on a train platform where I don't go da 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 da." It's on the train platform.
It's such a beer theme. Like you're just drinking, and go,
take by students doing the silly
pub theme,
credits. The end credits where they just go no.
I think part of the beauty of that theme is you can sing it no matter how pissed you are, which is probably why it's more successful.
So what's your favourite episodes? Because I want to go through characters first. So Deborah, we've kind of covered.
She's covered.
We kind of know she's always been a bit put off by... her and Tony would have got together a lot more if Tony could get his stuff together.
If he was mature, yeah.
But you can definitely see why she would like him, because he's like a kind of a puppy. So that's going to. Well, you could do a lot worse, to be fair. Tony does try hard. He's a pervert, but he tries. Deborah, Dorothy. Dorothy, I've always wondered why Dorothy doesn't just leave Tony, though. Gary, sorry. Because really, she could do a lot better.
It's one of the things that.
He's a horrible boss to his subordinates at work.
I know, it's just one of the things where you're attracted to the douchebag, isn't it?
And he looks like the BFG and the Elephant Man had a baby. He looks like Dobby had a threesome. He's just got the Dobby face of like shrunken eyes. Harry Potter will go to Hogwarts.
Wow.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
A Dobby impression. No, but Martin, he has just got this. I've just always wondered, what do you think Dorothy sees in Gary? Make her stay, because she does have an affair with Tony. They break on and off.
Yeah.
Well, I think she sums it up herself when she says she deserves Gary. That's
because in a way, in a way, she's like literally similar to him. It's like the other half in it. You know what I mean? Yin and yang. You know what I mean? That's what it is, basically. It's similar.
I like Dorothy as a character, but I found, when she actually breaks up with Gary.
Yeah.
I really hated her during those episodes. Not just because she dumped Gary, but it was the fact that she was cheating on him and then took the moral high ground.
And she made it, yeah.
It's like, well, hang on a minute. You're the fucking cheating person here. She went, oh, you've made it so much easier for me. You utter cow.
Them digs, innit?
Yeah, and I was just sitting there going, how can you take the moral high ground when you are the one who is utterly in the wrong here?
I hate
it's a statement of how good Caroline Quentin is as an actor that she infuriated me in those episodes. And that's just a sign of how good she is, in fairness. But
them devil-looking eyes, every time she give that look as well, she give that stare. It's just like you've done something bad. Oh god!
I love the I do love the chats that they have in bed, Gary and Dorothy. They're always they're like conversations that me and my wife have sometimes, just random bollocks where it's just like
talking nonsense.
The end of a long day or the start of a day, and you just talk absolutely, just absolute nonsense. I mean, being a married man myself now, it's like it's a different type of show now. And it's taught me, one good thing it's taught me, don't be a Gary. Be a committed guy. I think we're all like those two in their 20s or in their teenage years. They don't really want to be committed as much. A lot of people like that. And then I think a lot of people that I know have learned a lot from men behaving badly and just kind of don't do that. Don't be them.
Yeah, they're very cautionary tales, both. Like, don't be like them.
I mean, I do love how Gary he does say nice things. He's very appreciative of Deborah, not just for sex, but he says to her in one of the last episodes, I'm very grateful that you stuck by me.
Yeah. I think the relationship is genuine.
Yeah.
Under all of the bullshit, they actually do care about each other.
He's scared of commitment. She's scared of accepting that this is her lot in life.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great point. Great summing up there.
And I think it's the same with Tony. Tony's just a puppy, and it's a little bit with Deborah and Dorothy. Why couldn't they not got them so close? Deborah, it just doesn't think that Tony can be that guy.
Can't be serious.
Yeah. He's a bit of a frat boy, isn't he? He's a bit.
And then when he does become that guy, she thinks he's boring.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I mean, how the hell does he win?
I kind of turned my back on Deborah a little bit in the later season. I thought she was impossible.
Yeah. There was no way for him to win. She seemed to be changing the goalposts move.
Yeah, change the rules. Yeah.
And with her crap hairstyle, it made me with her lesbian hair. No, she just, I don't know, with her soccer mum style hair, she just kind of, I lost a lot of respect for the character. Later seasons, because Tony really tries hard. I mean, Tony is the one I'm most sympathetic to because he's the underdog all the time.
Yeah.
Gary's always got Dorothy by his side. And with Tony, I'm always wanting him to be with Deborah. I don't think Deborah's good for him, but he tries hard.
Exactly.
And we've all got a friend like Tony who just is unlucky who stays too long on one girl. And you were worried for a long time that they weren't going to get together. When they do get together, the crowd do go, "Well, hey!" Like, finally, it's a good reaction.
Because the thing is, that's why. Because Gary's a good guy who's just like, "Yeah, I don't care." Well, Tony actually cares. That's the kind of thing. That's why people root behind Tony. That's why guys like, "Yeah, do you want?" That's Gary.
What's your best conversations then that they have on the sofa? Because let's be honest, Gary and Tony have the best conversations. I always like it when the girls are there with them, but next to Gary's conversations with Dora, Gary's quite lucky. Gary gets all the funny conversations a lot of the time because he's having some with his work colleagues. There's the ones with Deborah, there's ones with Tony, and I think they noticed earlier that Martin Clunes is really funny, so they really do. He is the funnier than. No offense to Tony, he's funnier. Mm-hmm. So they. He's got a great natural gift of just having these great funny conversations.
I know I'm always going to laugh when he starts a phrase with, "I'm not a philosopher, as you know."
Yeah.
You just know he's going to say something completely out there as soon as he says that. I can't remember which episode it was where they keep saying, "Oh, bless her" to somebody, and I can't remember, is it the Queen or Maggie Thatcher? I can't remember who they're talking about, but it's one of the two. "Oh, bless her." Just completely off their heads.
Oh my god! I think honestly, I'm trying to think right now. What's my favorite? I would say it's my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. It's like it was really bad, but I was just like, I couldn't help myself from like literally laughing at it. I was like, what am I laughing about? Because when he goes, when Tony literally goes, "Why do you think Dorothy lives with her parents?" And Gary was like, "I think her mother threatened to kill herself. I think she'd risk it." And then I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Wow."
My favourite one is, I mean, I don't know if it's Dorothy or Tony, but I remember he was going on about all the fuss women make about childbirth.
Yeah.
Now, I remember he just said if it was a bloke, you have birth, couple of paracetamol, maybe a bit of a nap, and back to work.
I remember that.
I can't remember who he said that to, but that's roughly what he said, right? Back to work.
He says that to Tony.
Yeah, I thought so. That's one of my favourite lines of all time.
I think my favourite line of all time, the one that was stuck in my head, was when they were talking about masturbation. He goes, "Easy for men, you just get out your favourite mag and you yank your plank." And I'm just like, what? I just remember sitting there at the time going, you can't say that. But absolutely killing myself at the same time whilst being utterly mortified because I was in the same room as my mother.
There is one bit. I'm trying to think of something good for Dermot.
Yeah.
I remember there was one time there's like Dermot, the graffiti. He's talking about the graffiti in the dents. And Gary's like, "What does it say?" And he goes, "West Ham is a perf." That made me laugh. But why do you think the first season doesn't work? Like, because
that's what I want to know. What's because Tom's the man who got asked for this.
Yeah. Tom watched it. I didn't. I've never really watched season one.
Literally, because Tom was like, "I'll watch it." So I was like, "Damn, I watch it."
I mean, I've watched everything else.
It's just that Harry Enfield doesn't seem comfortable. I think is all it is. The writing's fairly solid. It follows a very similar path to the other ones, but Harry Enfield just never seems like he's comfortable playing just one role.
Yeah.
Constantly. And yeah, that's just, I don't know. And I think reading stuff that he said later, that is exactly how he felt. And I think it just came across on screen that he wasn't utterly comfortable with what he was doing. And yeah, I think it dilutes that series and costs it a bit. And then they bring in a character who's identical from season 2, so they basically just kick off season 2. May as well be season 1 because they do the exact same thing again.
Yeah,
but better with somebody who's confident in the role and who develops the role. So yeah, I've got nothing against season 1 in particular. It just didn't grip me properly, I guess.
Didn't click.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I watched everything else. I don't know. The thing is, I got the box set in 2003. I remember the BBC showed all the Gary ones and Tony ones.
Yeah.
They definitely, because season 2 is with Neil Morrissey, and I do remember watching it on the BBC, Gary's introduction, Tony's introduction. So they definitely showed the ITV episodes on the BBC as well, and repeats.
Yeah, years after, yeah.
Yeah, but they definitely did. But I never knew Harry Enfield, because until I got the box set, I never knew there was a first season with Harry Enfield.
Literally didn't know. I literally didn't know until like you guys brought it up. I was like, Harry Enfield? I was like, huh?
Yeah. But that's my whole point. Them Behaving Badly is an institution, and people don't even realise there was a series with Harry Enfield in it.
Exactly.
They watched the first season. My brother didn't know until he watched Netflix. He went, what the F word? What is Harry Enfield? Is this some, like, he thought it was a Scottish version or something. He's like, is this like American remake or something? They got the original cast to go with.
The Americans did do a remake. But
yeah, exactly.
We won 2 seasons apparently, and I'm about to watch it because of course.
Are you gonna watch it?
Really?
Watch it now.
Well, I don't know. I mean, America, at this point, we speak English, yeah? It's just arrogance, isn't it? not gonna cuss America, because Americans are clever. I'm sure Americans just can understand our show and they don't need an American version. I'm just going to be very nice about it. 60% of our audience is American, so I'm not.
Yeah, I love American TV. I love American TV, guys. So
Hello there. No,
you bloody suck-ups.
I do have a bit of a laugh.
Hey, you know I watch a lot of American TV, so
I don't like their president. I don't like their guns, but I don't hate Americans. I just think they're a bit crazy, but that's fine. It's fine, right? But I will watch that later.
Later, damn.
I don't think it did well. It did 42 episodes, 2 seasons. That's not too bad.
How long were the seasons?
21 episodes?
42 episodes. Figure it out.
Flipping hell.
Yeah, I hope it's not word for
No, I'm saying
word.
because some of them are like really short and got a long one, or just
some of
long.
them were 6, some of them are 8, one of them was 7, and the last series, which was Last Orders, was 3.
I really hope they're not copying word for word the British remake like they sometimes do. I hope they did their own path, because then I respect it a lot more.
I've never had any desire to watch the American one, so I can't comment.
Hell no.
I'm going to do it, and I'll report back on the next one.
Having seen American covers of Life on Mars and such things, the Americans do not know how to reboot a British show. They just can't do it.
Just show the original. Show the original show, please, people.
Well, these days they actually do now show the original shows, but they try and do an American version first, in the hope that they will catch lightning in a bottle or whatever the hell it is, and it will become a huge thing for them.
But Americans are smart, and they just want to watch the original. They got the original, they got it. They don't need no version, and I think American networks need to understand that.
But the American networks try and hide the fact there's an original. They try and make it seem like this is their idea. And then when it fails, they go, actually, this was based on a British show.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everyone goes, oh, let's watch the British version.
There's a thing called Wikipedia and YouTube. You can go search this shit up.
Search it up for yourself.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily use the same names.
Right,
That's the thing. They often change the name.
Yeah, switch it up on purpose, make it look original.
Right, I want a Tony chatting up Deborah special. What's the best chat up line Tony's ever used on Deborah?
Would you like some cheese?
I've got one. It's when he's it's when you near the astrology bit, and he does that great scene, and he's clearly making it up. And there's one bit where he just go, "I must lie down here in conjunction with you." That's just so cringeworthy, but brilliant at the same time.
The cheese one got me, but I think that's probably my favourite one was the cheese one. I'd say that one.
I think my favourite joke in the whole show was actually a purely visual one.
Visual one, okay.
You know when they end up going to that rave?
Yeah.
And it's just
what
Gary
season was that?
going along the floor looking absolutely skeletal and green, whilst everybody else is kind of going, whilst Tony's going nuts behind him. It's just a horrific visuals. Like, absolutely love it.
What season was that again? I can't remember what season.
That's right at the end. That's season 6.
Yeah, it's at the end, isn't it? Yeah.
I love. I've seen a lot of classic. I seem to remember watching a lot of these from 20 years ago when I was younger, and the one with the jacuzzi is brilliant. Where Tony's trying to do a sauna.
Oh God, yeah.
Just blows up at the end. There's the one where they try and find a new pub because they're getting evicted. Their old pub shuts down, so they try and find a new pub.
Yeah, after Les get kicked out, yeah.
That's the personal favourite. There's one where, oh God, it's when someone's, what is it? Is it Tony's cousins visit?
Tony's cousins?
Yeah, I think I'm like this.
There's one where Dorothy's nephew is looked after by Gary and Tony.
That's another good one.
Where they realise that they can just get him to do stuff for them all day.
Tony gets stuck in a lift. That's quite funny.
Who does he get stuck in a lift with?
Deborah. It's Deborah and Tony get stuck in a lift. And I remember Tony.
No, Gary gets stuck in the lift. It's Gary and Deborah who get stuck in the lift.
Yeah, Gary and Deborah, and then Tony's got like some electric blanket for him and Deborah, really in the back of the van.
Oh God, yeah. Forgot about that bloody van.
So, so what's your favourite stuff from the series altogether, like episode-wise?
You want to go first, Troy?
I don't know. You can go first if you want. I think it was my favourite one. Peace from season 2. Season 2 for me.
I know what my favourite image, and I can remember at the time it made me feel so uncomfortable, and it shows just how much of an issue it must be because Gary and Tony behave that way all the time. Is when when Dorothy shows up at the pub. And she sits there, Gary says, a little one for lady, she likes it a lot on the rocks, but that's enough of our sex life, and all that kind of stuff. And then she goes, do you know what living with you is like? And does the exact same thing to him. She man-spreads, starts going, another one for the man. He won't be ready for half an hour, but that's enough of our sex life. And all that. And I can remember feeling so uncomfortable at the time, thinking, and I was looking back at it going, it's genius. She hits it perfectly. And that's what gets them outlawed from the pub. But when she does that, it's so good. It's one of my favourite scenes ever.
All right. I say season 2. As it counts as episode 8. Yeah, Rent Boy, her favorite episode. I'll say that right now. Second favorite episode. That's my favorite episode. He thinks Tony's gay. That cracked me up. I don't know why I was dying. That cracked me up. Sorry, that made me laugh. That was my favorite.
I just remember Tony wearing glasses. I don't know why. My wife was watching with me. Just said, "Welcome to Hogwarts, Harry Potter," and I just started.
Oh my days, he looks like Harry Potter, legit, older version.
She just that just made me piss myself laughing.
But Deborah and Dorothy was so mean to him, standing outside the room pretending they thought he was out, saying how nice he looked in the glasses, just so he'd come out and they could laugh at him.
Oh God! Oh, that big girl. Oh God, I love it.
Happy days.
And he gets really sad about it as well, poor guy. Like, he gets so ruthlessly bullied.
He gets buried. Sadly. Oh my gosh. He takes it to he's like the best guy to just attack I loved it. I loved it.
Do you think them? How do you feel about the Gary, the Tony and Dorothy affair? I don't like it. It feels cheap.
Yeah.
But it was effective.
Yeah, you can see it coming up. Yeah.
In what way?
It was kind of like a reboot for all the characters because it forced Dorothy and Gary to look at their relationship differently in the next series.
Mhm.
It changed the dynamic between Tony. So, because it was what, end of season 3 or end of season 4? Can't remember which one.
I think it was the
But
end of season.
it needed a bit of a refresh at that point, and them doing that gave them a reason for there to be a different dynamic to the group at the beginning of the next series. So it worked as a plot device. It worked very
refresh. Yeah.
But they are a bit naughty. I remember the homemade sauna one. Before Deborah, they were trying to chat up the two neighbours.
Yeah, the two who were down from the north, yeah.
And Caroline Quentin plays Dorothy so well because she immediately knows something's happened. And they are awful. Gary is quite awful to Dorothy sometimes.
They're all awful.
Is it called men behaving adequately?
Thank you, Daniel.
He's back. He's back.
It makes me wonder why Dorothy thinks she's deserves Gary. Why this is how it ends.
I'm sure she's done a few bad things in her life as well, which is why she feels that way. You just don't go into that detail on her, I guess.
Relationships are complicated.
Yeah.
The reason why this worked in terms of relationships, from what you guys have been saying, is because there are a lot of relationships that sound like this.
That's true.
Especially ones that are sort of contingent and rely upon the pub. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
As some sort of crutch, as some sort of coping mechanism. I think it's just it's one of the things where if we're looking at sort of relationships that could go badly or could be okay in the end, this is kind of your medium point for the British couple at that point.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah. Little pub scene. Got a point there. Most of these relationships, especially back then, that's how they depicted, isn't it? Go to a pub, pork scratchings.
Just suddenly remembered the one where Dorothy actually agrees to marry Gary, and he tries to spend the rest of the episode convincing her not to do it. I'd kind of forgotten that they had that episode, but that was good.
Oh my gosh, that was good. That was a good episode, though. What episode was that? Do you remember what it's called? Tom, do you remember the episode was called?
Oh, no, I can't. I think it was towards the end of season 2, maybe season 3. You remember that?
I've just remembered my best line from George. While you guys are trying to fill time, I just found my favourite George line. I wrote it down. I think marriage is tremendous, and Gary just says, "I hate to be cynical, George, but you think Croydon is tremendous." As a person that lived in Norwood not too long ago, that made me crack up.
Yeah. Croydon.
Croydon is horrendous.
Ben, Croydon. Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Croydon, hell no.
Hell to the no. More like, yeah, I'm not going to do a joke.
No, don't do it, don't do it.
More like help.
Oh my gosh.
So, was there anything good about Dermot? There has to be something that Harry Enfield did to be funny.
I never flipping saw it.
Come on, let's try and find something. Because, I'm sure. Tom.
Sorry, I can't.
Can I say something about even that question, right?
Go on.
Yeah.
So, what does Harry Enfield do best?
Impersonations.
In terms of emotions, what does Harry Enfield do best? He does big, brash, unapologetic, completely self-centered, self-important character.
We are considerably richer than Yao.
Right?
Yeah.
He's really, really good at them. He knows how to make them likable and unlikable all at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
But the reason that character seems to work, from what you guys have said, is not about him being really hyper confident and really sort of in your face. And I think that Harry Enfield doesn't do the puppy dog eyes and the apologetic, but I'm never going to fucking learn anywhere near as well as Neil does.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
Because Neil isn't acting when he's doing that, because that's how he fucking lived his life at that point.
I think he just turned up on set and decided, hey, this is how I'm going to do it. Then he's gone. There is a great picture on Instagram of Martin Clunes between Harry Enfield and Neil Morrissey.
Yeah.
Like in character, like they're going to fight each other who is the best flatmate. Go find it. It's Martin Clunes in the middle. I don't know where it's from, but it's made me laugh. Because somebody, he said, it was a shame we never got Harry Enfield back just for one last episode, just to have him meet Tony.
It would have been good.
Yeah.
It would have got a good audience. It would have been funny.
They probably think about doing that in the next one.
Yeah.
I'll give
Paul
it to
Whitehouse
me.
in as well. If they found some way of putting Paul Whitehouse and Harry Enfield in, that would have been
Yeah.
Especially with
I'll tell you exactly how they do it. They make Paul
John
Whitehouse
Thompson as the
Harry
police
Enfield's
counsel.
gay lover.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, gee, damn it.
Top three.
Sold.
What on earth?
Sold.
Tom's just like, oh dear.
So, in summary, do we like this show or what?
I love it. It's still one of my favorites. And do you guys think it's do you think any show that says beds are for sleepy people, which is now something I remember from childhood?
Let's have a kebab and go to a disco, yeah.
Yeah. You know, sometimes certain shows, and because we're doing Friends in a couple of weeks, that's the next special, early October. You always worry certain shows don't age very well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You go back to your childhood, and there's certain shows like Men Behaving Badly. Space for me still holds up for my teenage years. And your Friends and stuff. And there's a lot of times you go back and watch something, and it's not as good as you remember it.
Yeah.
I was worried that Men Behaving Badly, because I haven't seen it in nearly 20 years. I had the DVDs, so maybe 15. I got rid of the DVDs a long time ago. I would say 15 years ago now. So I think, American Pie style, I've matured a lot. And it's like, I went back and watched the American Pies recently. I think they've lost a lot of... They're not as funny as I thought they were, because I've grown up a bit. But I'm pleased to say Men Behaving Badly is not like that. It's
American Pie was aimed at teenagers. That was
but I'm not. What I'm saying is, when I was a teenager, I found both of them very funny. What I'm saying is,
Badly was aimed at everybody.
Yeah,
So they were trying to find things that somebody in their teen years, somebody in their 20s, somebody would find funny.
Yeah, I know, but
there was a broader comedy, whereas American Pie was aimed at teenagers. So if you watch it 20 years later, it's not going to be as funny because your attitudes have matured. Whereas Remember How Badly, you probably find things funny now that 20 years ago were not the things that made you laugh.
I haven't finished my point. It's like other things like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You go back and watch it, and you cringe at it now.
Oh, that's a classic.
So, I'm not saying if anything's funny.
I fucking love the Power Rangers.
Come on, Dan. Okay, you're with us now. There we go. I like this guy.
He's alive. Now, what I'm saying is you look at some of it now and you just go, oh boy. But Men Behaving Badly is a timeless wine of a comedy show. and I will always rewatch it going forward now. That's it. That's me.
Done badly. Okay. Timeless classic. Yeah, you're right. That point.
What about you?
So that seems like as good a place as any to wrap this up, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do better than that.
Yeah.
I can't do better than that, that's for sure.
Okay. So next week is the normal syndrome. We're going back to normal.
Mhm.
And I'm going to cripple Tom and put him in the cupboard.
No, you're not, motherfucker.
So yeah, motherfucker.
Trust here, Ben. Just a quick thing before we go, just because you have said that, and I do need to warn you. I mean, it would be entertaining not to, but I feel I have to. I went to uni with Tom. The uni we went to had a particular game that happened across the entire university, across the entirety of every semester. It was based on an invention by the author Terry Pratchett, and it was called the Assassin's Guild. Tom played this game once, and he lost to the eventual winner after getting down to the very final out of
3.
It was something like the final 3 out of something like 1,500 players.
2,000 players.
2,000 players. So yeah, he's a very paranoid man, and it has served him well.
Thank you for outing me as a complete and total geek, Daniel.
I'm about to say that.
I love the Assassin's Guild, don't get me wrong, but we were all geeks. Every single
damn, that was.
Everyone's a geek in something. I don't care if you've got a big interest.
That was some...
But again,
Tom's
Tom's
left out
also
is that he and I were working as a team for about 90% of that year's thing. The two of us were watching each other's back.
Not anymore, you lot. That's it. You guys are going to have a domestic when we come off the air. I can't wait.
We got him, Ben. We got.
Dan, what award did I win at the Assassin's Guild?
The betrayal one, wasn't it?
Brutus Award for Best Betrayal when I turned my back on Dan.
I was too ill to continue at one point, and I was like, nah, this illness is going to take me out of it anyway. So since I've been on your kill list and you've been not killing me because of friendship for that long, take the kill.
Basically, you had 3 people on your kill list at all times. And so when you took one of them out, you were given a new person, and that's how they whittled it down. And Dan was put on my kill list like halfway through the game, but he and I were working in partnership, so I told him he was on my kill list. And
Are you guys immortal or something?
Huh?
How does this game go on? What this game is about?
It's so much fun, just so stupid.
I managed to kill people with a herd of cows on a curvy stairway at one point.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, I'm going to go now because I've got the feeling that I've just, because of, killing people, I can just imagine Martin Clint's parents thought he looked like Quasimodo for Notre Dame and wanted to burn him at birth. I don't know why. Let's end this. I'm done.
Okay, on that really...
Okay, we broke Ben. We broke Ben. He can go back in the cupboard.
You've broken me.
Ben is gone. He's done. He's done.
We're done. It's done. It's goodbye for me.
Bye for me.
And goodbye for me.
Right. Let's get out here. Kill this thing with fire. It's done.
Smooth with a capital smooth.
No. That's the wrong podcast, motherfucker. Bye.